This big man is a problem. 35-0, massive experience. And that's bad news.
There was a left hook there. And a right behind him. This is in deep trouble on the ropes.
Are you going to fight Mike Tyson next?
Yeah, and I'll destroy him.
Just about, in fact, a little over one fight a month during his professional career.
The year is 1987. 21-year-old Mike Tyson has already become the absolute nightmare of the heavyweight division.
Cut to the left hand. Thomas trying to hold on. Serious trouble. And down he goes.
Clutching 2 championship belts in his steel fists. In less than 2 years of professional carnage, Tyson skyrocketed like a meteor from the grimy slums of New York to the very Olympus of boxing, grinding into dust anyone who dared stand in his way. But in the thick shadow of this terrifying champion lurked another monster, a colossus. The public undeservedly overlooked. Tony Tucker.
Everyone's just taking us for granted, that it's just going to be easy, and they figure Tony Tucker is nothing. I think he can fight, and I think he's got explosive punching power.
By 1987, not everyone knew this giant. In the blinding glare of Tyson's superstardom, even world champions faded into pale shadows. And how wrong they were. Nearly 2 meters tall, a monstrous 208-centimeter reach, Tony Tucker was the true Hulk of the ring. He didn't just punch, he detonated the space around him, unleashing crushing primal power on anyone in front of him.
Right now, Gardner is a punching bag.
By the mid-80s, behind him lay the smoking ruins of 34 victories, 29 by knockout. And not a single defeat. He was a classic puncher, but inside him, something else was boiling. At the moment of impact, it was as if he shed his human form, transforming into an unstoppable Hulk, whose explosive force swept away everything in front of him. His signature right uppercut, like the strike of a gamma hammer, absolute, destructive, a weapon that ripped shorter opponents off the canvas. And yet, despite this titanic gift, Tucker's path to the biggest fight of his life was anything but easy. He became IBF World Champion, just 9 weeks before the historic clash with Mike Tyson. In the spring of 1987, Tony Tucker clashed with James Douglas. The fight turned into a brutal, grinding war, a true meat grinder. But then, something switched. Tucker awakened the monster within. He flipped the fight, seized control, and in the 10th round, finished it.
There was a left hook there. And a right behind it, and another right. Douglas is in deep trouble on the ropes.
Technical knockout. Just like that, he ripped away the IBF title and earned the sacred right to face Mike Tyson, to throw every belt in the division into the fire. Unlike so many of Tyson's opponents, broken before the first bell, Tucker wasn't stepping back. The Hulk knows no fear. August 1st, 1987, Las Vegas. The air, electrified to the limit. The epic finale of the Don King and HBO tournament. On the line, absolute power. And every belt in the division. For the first time in history, 2 undefeated champions stood face to face. The ruthless Mike Tyson, WBA, WBC, and the unbreakable Tony Tucker, IBF. Bookmakers set the odds at 11-1 in Tyson's favor, but the seasoned voices in boxing sounded the alarm. Do not underestimate this explosive giant.
Well, he's unbeaten. He's never been knocked down. And he is a big, tall, defensive-oriented fighter, the kind of fighter that has frustrated Tyson in the past.
But Mike Tyson only flashed a predatory smirk, brushing off the warnings, ignoring the fear around Tony Tucker's towering height. Tyson coldly declared,
It's to my advantage, because most fighters are used to fighting opponents 6'3", 6'2", the average heavyweight. I use it to my advantage because I move my head, I'm very quick, and I'm low to the ground, and it's very difficult to hit me.
And we'll see what kind of tactic Tucker takes. I was expecting Mike Tyson to jump right on Tony Tucker.
With the very first strike of the bell, Iron Mike rushed into a bloodthirsty hunt for a knockout, trying to demolish Tucker with monstrous hooks. But Tony, like a granite cliff, cold-bloodedly tied him up in the clinch, absorbing Tyson's kinetic energy. And then the Hulk exploded. He punished Mike with such a crushing heavy uppercut that even the impenetrable Tyson staggered, losing the ground beneath his feet for a second from this primal power.
But is he strong enough to do that? Well, that was a good right hand by Tucker. Now let's see the uppercut almost immediately after the bell. He follows a right with a left. and rocks Tyson. The first time we've ever seen Tyson really rock back like that. That might have been the best shot that Mike Tyson has ever taken right there. Did you know that uppercut rocked Mike Tyson? Back to your fight with Marvin Hagler, where after you don't look for the one punch to the head. What I like about Tucker is the fact that he's throwing combinations. He's not throwing one. Surviving the first round actually can turn the tables around on a fighter. It gives him the confidence. And again, what I like about he's using his height, his reach. Tyson worked that body. Tyson changed. Tyson's trying to slow Tucker down by body shot. Good body shot by Tyson. That's exactly what Kevin Rooney was telling him to do in the corner. Tyson, two good jabs. That was a good example. That uppercut is going to do the job over and over again. He really wants to frustrate Mike Tyson. That was a left hand by Tyson, but it did not appear to hurt Tucker, particularly for Tucker. It was a great left hand at the bell by Tyson.
In the following rounds, Mike realized that one hit wouldn't topple this mountain and switched to serial carpet bombings. Tony simply shocked the arena with his inhuman, titanic resilience. Time after time, Tyson rained down a hail of leaden blows on him, literally breaking through his body and rattling his head. But Tucker stood his ground, absorbing the damage like a true Hulk, flatly refusing to fall.
Coming in with his head. The uppercut has been doing a tremendous... There was a good left hand, and that staggered Tony Tucker. Again, he's tying his man up. You notice the uppercut. Opponent because he throws a barrage of punches. Not more intensity in Tony Tucker. There was a big left hand by Tyson, one punch. And that's where normally... And another one. Normally, Tyson comes out on top. Get him up, Tucker, come on. Bring it back up to the head. There's a right hand again by Tyson, but as well as not, Tucker can withstand this type of pressure. Get him up. Good shot. And Tyson with another left hand. 25 seconds left, round 4. Very competitive fight. He initiated respect. He stood his ground. He rocked Mike Tyson the first round with a beautiful uppercut. So there's mutual respect here. Good hand speed by Tony Tucker. I just don't... Tyson got the better of that exchange. A lead off right. There's a left hook directly in front of Tony Tucker. And that's why Tony's able to get those punches off. There was a right hand in close by Tyson. That would get him out of there. I think Tucker, on the other hand, is fighting a superb job. There was a right hand by Tyson. Left miss, right is right there. The cheer you just heard.
Crossing the equator of the fight, Tyson began to conserve fuel. He stopped putting all his fury into every punch, turning on his boxing intellect. Whipping jabs, a perfect sense of distance, and constant circling around the giant came into play. Tony lost the ability to bind the enemy in his steel vise. His massive bulk became a hindrance, and he simply couldn't keep up with the lightning-fast Mike. The Iron Predator methodically punished the Colossus for every fraction of a second of delay.
That rhythm. I haven't seen anybody be able to push him off. They don't allow Tyson to punch, but instead they wanted to push Tyson off and go at him. By pushing a man off. Tyson's just walking his man down, trying to catch up with him. The mistake Tyson is right. And what Mike has to do is move to his left to cut his man off. The fact that Tyson looks right now like he's in it for the long haul here. And there was a big right hand. He took another right hand. I think he's watched my fight before. Yeah, I think he has too. I think his timing is not as good as yours. of Tucker's really throwing Tyson off. Not allowing him to get inside.
The last 3 rounds has been effective in allowing him to get in.
A boxer. Tyson, of course, a banger. But his jab does a lot. And we see Tucker first round when he rocked Mike Tyson. He said, hey, I can punch too. He appeared to be as loose throughout most of this fight.
Arm in the first round, a knot actually formed. It was with him the whole fight.
And he is indeed a great fighter.
You know, another thing that I feel we should at least point out here is there was a rumor about Tyson's, or rather Tucker's right hand, that he had injured his right hand, and that's why he backed off training.
Not in a heavyweight. They don't throw those kind of punches.
Again, Tucker trying to get still mugging with Tyson, which brings the crowd alive. Well, it is a fact. Tony Tucker has watched the tape of the show.
And you don't feel the pain.
He did throw a right uppercut there, which missed.
For a combination again. But whenever he throws, looks for one shot. Well, in a fight of this intensity, this magnitude, when you're fighting, you really don't feel it because those drillers going.
Seen him throw the right hand in anger since the middle of the last round. I hadn't noticed. Mike Tyson seems to have gained control of the fight.
Like a Sebastian Coe, not whether he's going to win the mile race. His knees seem to buckle just a full second.
Right hand.
So what we're going to watch from now on is really, can he break down Tucker?
That was a right hand by Tucker. Tucker that backed Tyson off.
Come on, Ashley, get on him!
You can hear Kevin Rooney yelling in the background. Get on him.
Get him up, both of you, come on!
Good body shot by Mike.
Landed because that's the direction that Tony Tucker's moving. Then get back on your bicycle.
Tyson getting on with Mike Tyson.
All right, let's sit, Mike, come on. Time, whoa.
Now it appears the instinct for self.
In the championship rounds, Tucker's gas tank began to run on empty. The sheer tonnage of absorbed punches made itself felt, trying to bend the giant to the canvas. But even bleeding his strength away, this Hulk refused to break. He showed off, dropped his hands, and openly taunted Iron Mike, turning the fight into an absolute breathtaking blockbuster.
Again, we talk about judges' criteria, how he's scoring the fight, whether or not he's scoring the most effective punches. Tony Tucker's right hand now is dropping, and that is for his punches. Once again, though, you see what's happening here. That short jab, then step. Like that. Short jab, then step in. Get close. Now come.
There it was.
Then he gets in. Now he's not following something. Now he's inside again. The jab once again.
That is. Not a jab that you use just to keep a man off of you.
I'm almost expecting someone to go down because a lot like that. Not with the hand speed of Tony. A lot of times both guys reaching in with their chins first. And the reason there's frustration is because of what Tucker's doing. Tying his man up. Those are the antics there. Sometimes work.
Full 3 minutes.
Your arms ache. They start to drop. You know you have to bring him up because he's fighting his fight. He's doing his thing.
Tyson opponents that haven't done that.
Good left hook.
Come on, go let's do it! There you go! You hurt him!
Again, the voice is a man of
All right,
confidence.
one step back. Let him go, Tony. Let him go. Come on, step back. Let him go. Here we go.
What happened? The crowd somewhat is booing. Some of them are booing. Tucker's fighting a great fight. You have to take your head off to the guy. I mean, and he's in there with a monster in Mike Tyson. Who has fought it? You know, when Tony Tucker won the title against Buster Douglas.
Sit back, Mike.
He said, so what with these so-called experts? I'm going to show you. And this is what he did tonight. And he has. The crowd getting a little tired of that. He had the big hat, and while maybe he didn't have all the cattle, at least he had a couple of cows. Tucker seems to be fighting the kind of fight that he thinks he's winning. There was a big left hand. Tucker says no. That's Tony Tucker. Tyson finishing with a flourish. And so is It's over.
And yet, when the smoke of battle cleared, the judges delivered their verdict. A unanimous victory for Tyson with scores of 119 to 111, 118 to 113, and 116 to 112. Iron Mike achieved the impossible, becoming the absolute overlord of the world at just 21 years old. But he left the ring with a grim face. He craved annihilation, not a victory on points.
Okay, Mike, undisputed heavyweight champion. Are you happy with the way you fought tonight?
Not really, because I was trying my best to punch his side, but it just wasn't together today, and he was very intimidating, and it was very tough.
Was he a better fighter than you thought?
It was very hard to tell because he did a great deal of holding. He threw very fast punches. It was true.
And he really rocked you in the first round.
Yes, he did. He was a very hard puncher.
Tucker, however, went down in history as one of the first to survive all 12 rounds in a cage with the most terrifying beast on the planet, putting Tyson through a hellish test of endurance. The explosive giant himself never accepted the judge's decision. In his heart, the Hulk left that ring an undefeated conqueror.
Tony, you fought a lot better fight than many people thought you were capable of. You really hurt him early in the first round. What happened after that? Why couldn't you follow up on it?
Well, it wasn't no secret in the game. Early in the training, I hurt my right hand, and it would give me some problems after the second round when I hit him, but I thought I still outboxed him. I was moving good. Mike Tyson, he's a young kid. He's what everybody, everybody came here expecting him to win. The odds was, in his favor. If it was a close fight, I figured they was gonna give it to him anyway, but I still thought I beat him. But that's okay. The world knows Tony Tucker is here, I'm for real. And I praise God, because he seen me through the fight and he protected me, and neither one of us, got hurt, injured, so where we couldn't continue. But I still praise God, and I'm happy that I'm here. But
You were here. You made us notice you. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.